Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host Gershwan and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue with the Imperium of Man as we talk about Valhalla and its warriors. Let's get into 40 facts about the Valhallan Ice Warriors. Valhalla is an imperial ice world also classified by the Administratum as a civilized world. Located in the Ultima Segmentum of the galaxy, Valhalla is an extremely cold, ice-covered planet where the temperatures never rise above freezing. The harsh ice world of Valhalla was originally a paradise world. No records survive of its colonization by humanity, but Valhallan legends recall a world ripe for conquest. Unfortunately, Valhalla was destined for destruction. Approximately 10,000 standard years ago, just before the end of the Age of Strife, a rogue comet entered into a collision course with Valhalla. The planet's defense lasers fired at the comet, but only succeeded in breaking it up. Later, it was found that the comet was made up of almost pure iron, explaining why the large defense lasers had proven so ineffective. The comet impacted in Valhalla's vast planetary oceans, but a mile-wide fragment impacted the northern continent, creating a vast plume of dust, which proceeded to cover the planet in a blanket of dirt. To make matters worse, the planet's orbit was altered by the ferociousness of the impact, moving it on a course that forced it into a new orbit, farther from its sun. This change in the amount of incoming warmth and light altered Valhalla's ecosystem, reshaping the planet into an icy wasteland. The Valhallan people struggled to survive in this new environment, fearing famine due to the lack of viable farmland, until they carved out new homes for themselves in massive subterranean caverns deep beneath the ice. This was not to be the end of the Valhallans' troubles. The comet strike had been a catastrophe, but was not to be the end of the Valhallan people's suffering. Not long after the comet strike, a damaged orc warfleet descended on the planet and proceeded to fight the Valhallans for every gram of the precious food they had stored. The Valhallans held out bravely for a long time in their vast hive cities beneath the ice, but were ultimately pushed right back to the food vats. Eventually, they destroyed the orcs by using ice boring machines to strategically strike at the heart of a mob, burning and melting most of the orcs and scattering the rest. Even this greenskin invasion proved unable to blunt the Valhallans' indomitable spirit. This grim refusal to surrender despite overwhelming opposition had won them a historic, if bloody, victory. After destroying the orc invaders on their own world, Valhallan planetary defense forces, in an act of vengeance, joined with other Imperial Guard armies to cleanse their sector of the hated greenskin menace. The Guard proved so impressed with the combat ability of the Valhallans that the Departamental Minitorum soon turned to Valhalla as a prime source of new Imperial Guard regiments, after being raised as Imperial Guards themselves. The Valhallans continued to display the same stoic determination that they had shown in the defense of their icy cities of their own homeworld. A stubborn and stern people, Valhallans refused to acknowledge their hardships, but their world is not a forgivable one. In the wake of the comet strike and the subsequent orc invasion, life on the planet of Valhalla has only flourished underground. The population of Valhalla exists entirely in the vast subterranean caverns carved out from the rock and ice beneath the planet's surface, warmed by the planetary's core. These underground habitats are woefully overcrowded, packed with citizens so thick that human life in Valhalla is considered inconsequential and cheap. To sustain the people's hunger, nutrition slime is cultivated on the cavern walls by generations of ceaseless toil and sacrifice. Even the most petty crime carries with it the harshest of sentences, death. Only those citizens who volunteer for the Imperial Guard escape such an existence, but such service is considered an honor. The Valhallans have a long and proud history as a prime source of providing regiments for the Departamental Minitorum. and many regiments of the Valhallan Ice Warriors have earned considerable renown for their heroism and steadfast refusal to give in when lesser soldiers would surrender and lesser regiments would collapse beneath the weight of their impending doom. Over the millennia, the guardsmen of Valhalla have fought for the Emperor across thousands of worlds. Their steadfast valor and casual disregard for their own lives has built a legend that inspires countless citizens across the Imperium. Stern and uncompromising, the Valhallan Ice Warriors are valued and admired by many Imperial Guard officers in need of reliable troops. The Valhallan Ice Warriors are deployed in war zones infested with orcs in order to take advantage of the regiment's innate knowledge of orc tactics and to challenge the troopers' undying hatred of the greenskins who invaded their homeworld so long ago. Valhallans are commonly positioned where their dogged resolve can bolster surrounding allies and hold the line where other armies might fall back when faced with certain death. The armored battle tanks and artillery units of Valhalla are uniformly camouflaged in a manner suited to the frozen tundra of their world, and each vehicle proudly displays the name of their homeworld on its hull. Valhallan regiments on the spineward front of the Heroclix sector, periphery, subsector are commonly placed into war zones where their experience fighting orcs can be best employed. Additionally, Lord Marshal Ganzeric seems to favor the Valhallans' fighting style. The Ice Warriors have often been deployed into battlefields with the harshest environment conditions. The Ice Warriors have made planet strike on Maesa and have suppressed a mutant uprising in Sisk, but many of the Valhallan senior officers believe that Ganzeric's future plans for the regiment involves a direct strike at Evitol, the homeworld of the Orc menace, now ravaging the subsector. Given the failure of the last Imperial assault on that world, it is very likely that the Valhallans will simply be one part of a much larger attack force, but there is a sense of quiet pride amongst the Valhallan Ice Warriors that they would be considered for the honor of taking the fight to the Orc warlord Grimtooth himself. Several Adeptus Ministorum preachers from the Calixian Synod have joined in with the Valhallan Order of Battle. The Ice Warriors consider themselves blessed to face the orcs and the secessionists of that world. They are well supported by the servants of the Imperial Creed. The Ice Warriors are stoic and unwavering when on the defensive, holding their ground against fearful odds, when most other human troops would consider it a good idea to flee. Enemies have often found the Valhallans' defending forces needed to be completely destroyed to capture and hold ground. Valhallans are trained to fight in dense formations to support their morale. When on the offensive, Valhallans combined mass artillery barrages with a follow-up infantry wave assault. The morale of the regiment is often backed up by the Adeptus Ministorum priests. Many Valhallan officers, such as the famous commander Chenkov, have expertly used their tactics to grind the enemy down and wrestle victory from even the most hardened of objectives. In defense, Hive Warriors regiments are known for stubbornly fighting to the last man. Each Valhallan warrior is issued a thermally insulated grey coat and helmet, gear that is absolutely necessary to survive the harsh Arctic surface of their homeworld. From the canteens to extra articles of clothing, the Valhallan guardsman is expected to carry into battle every last item he may need to survive. The Departamental Minitorum has kept the Valhallan Ice Warrior regiments well supplied with such war gear, and it is very rare for a Valhallan troop to face the environment for which they are not at least marginally prepared for. Their grey coats are often worn buckled to the neck, and the similarly thermal insulated helmets with flaps is secured to protect the soldier's neck and ears from the environment. Additionally, fatigues include a basic set of trousers and undershirt, although the specifics vary between regiments. These items are signature kits for the Ice Warriors, and the Valhallans would go to great lengths to secure their grey coats and helmets rather than go without them. Given the harsh environment of their homeworld, it is likely that the Ice Warriors consider losing either item as an eventual sentence of death. One of the most notable campaigns that saw the Ice Warriors in action was the Icelight Nebula Wars. The 1,212th Valhallan Regiment, the Cold Bloods, was raised for service during the Eyeslight Nebula Wars, but the regiment's first battle was amongst its last. With their supply and logistics line overstretched, only 1 in every 3 guardsmen in the 1,212th were issued a lasgun. Their first mission saw a forced march across the frozen and toxic wastelands of Triox against a large force of traitors. Despite their cold weather survival skills, only half of the Ice Warriors made it across the plains to assault the traitorous flank. Once again displaying the sheer tenacity of the Ice Warriors, many of the Valhallan guardsmen recovered weapons from the fallen, and in the end decisively defeated the enemy force. Another notable campaign was the defense of Corania, where the Tyranids attacked the Imperial world without warning, forcing every Imperial Guard regiment on the planet to resist ferociously for nearly a year before a fleet from the Imperial Navy, the Valhallan 296, the 301st Regiment, and several companies drawn from both the Swords of the Emperor and the Reclaimer Space Marine chapters turned the tides. In the Castella campaign, the infamous Valhallan commander Chekhov ordered the flushing out of the Chaos Renegades that infested the fortress world of Castella. He eventually secured victory only after the bodies of millions of men he had sent to their deaths clogged up the river Vitus, poisoning the planet's principal water supplies. When Abaddon the Despoiler and his forces of chaos launched the 13th Black Crusade in the 999th year of the 41st millennium, the 54th Valhallan Regiment answered the call to arms to defend the Cadian Gate from the massive Chaos incursion. And those were 40 facts about the Valhallan Ice Warriors. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have a huge favor to ask from you guys. Please comment down below and let me know what other Imperial Guard regiment you guys would like to hear about next. When you comment down below, please title it Suggestion followed by the regiment that you guys would like me to create a lore for. We have the Death Corps of Krieg, the Stormtroopers, and of course the Valhallan Ice Warriors already. So please check out the channel to get those, but if you have any other suggestions, I would love to hear about them. Please comment down below. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing. By you guys doing that, you're helping out the channel. You're helping us create more Warhammer 40K content, and of course, giving you guys awesome giveaways. The giveaway for the box set is coming. We haven't received it in the mail, just for those of you that are wondering. And of course, go Cubs. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.